Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab where I do what I do for you. Oh, I got something nice for you today. Let's get this party started. I'm excited. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. This is another one of my life stories. Hope you enjoy it. Let's go. I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate you using my philosophy. We got a good thing going. Let's go. Right Thinker's mission, and that's what I'm on daily, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right Thinker's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline, practice daily, will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself, or from this point on, you might know it as the divine marriage tidbit. Okay? And I ask the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical, but if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. Oh, I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here too. Wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself and always to my yacht. Be true. Right thinkers, let's talk about the divine marriage. Well, what's a divine marriage? Good question. That's my point. It's the heart, mind, coherence. That's my little phrase I came up with a few years ago. But it's when the heart conscious and the mind conscious comes together as one. That's God conscious. That's what they call the anointment. We call it knowing thyself, enlightenment, nirvana. Everybody got a name for it, but it's all the same thing. Just like God. Ain't but one God. After God, everything comes in pairs. That's who Mayat represents. So let's go. It's all philosophical. But question, did you know that your heart has its own brain, aka conscious, and it's spelled Conscience, meaning it's been a proven science that that's where God dwells in man. In the argument, in the debate, I'm giving you information. So first of all, and the heart, mind, brain is bigger than the brain that's in your head. Man, modern man has just figured that out. The ancients knew that a long time ago. I did. So when I heard about it, I wasn't surprised. Oh, the heart got a brain. The brain has a heart. Oh, that. Yeah, I call it heart, mind, coherence. Moving on. But that's where God dwells in man, in the heart. You Christians, Christ always pointed to the heart. He had the halo, meaning he was enlightened. He knew God was. So he told you, my Father and I are one. God dwells within man. Come on. So don't get excited. Calm down. Teach the lesson. All right, let me get back to my lesson. But this is a good one. Why? Because I'm trying to break down all the stereotype, all the exoteric definition and give you an esoteric understanding that you can actually use. Your mind, aka your brain, is yours, aka we call it free will, to do whatever you want, good or bad. We're going to break it down for you. That's what Mayat represents, choices in life. Your free will is your conscious, spelled SCONSCIO, that means yours. The proven conscious is here. What's this? The phrase, let your heart be your guide, or follow your heart, whatever, all that good stuff. Why? The power is in the heart. That's God. That's the spirit. When you study, and that's what I do, and you obtain self-knowledge, aka the truth about us as beings, you're making yourself a better person by knowing yourself. Knowing about everything other than yourself is a waste of your time. And you don't want to find out that at Judgment Day. When, oh, I got a degree in this, I did that, I did this. But did you know thyself? Crickets. That's why you fail. Again, in life, truth, knowledge is what you have to obtain. And then you have to live by said knowledge. And that way, that would be your choice to do or not do. You can do right, you can do wrong. You can do what's good, you can do what's wrong. Simple as that. It ain't no whole bunch of, no, simple, black and white. Black being good, white being bad, white being good, black being bad. Don't make a difference how you flip it, yin, yang, it's the same thing. Remember, I can't weigh one thing. Gotta weigh two things. With self-knowledge, that's what I'm trying to give you, you can use said knowledge and manifest by what? Practicing it, implementing it in your daily life. Whatever you want with what? Daily practice, and you will be able to what? If you can conceive it, you can achieve it through what? Daily practice, and do what you need to do, and it will happen for you. When you put the work in, whatever you want, they say, wait a little while and welcome what you're after. It will come to you. You attract what you are. If you're a good person, you're around good people. If you're around bad people, moving on, when your heart conscious, spelled Conscience, I got to make that clear. That's the heart. It's been proven. And when your mind, which is what they give you at birth, which is blank, you have to be what? Taught. You have to be educated. You have to be influenced, motivated, whatever it is. But you have to do that from birth. We are spiritual beings. Once we come into the physical form, we forget who we are. So the goal in life ain't to rich, no, just to know thyself. That's too easy. You think so? Be my guest. The purpose of life is to have the divine marriage. The heart and mind have to become one. That's done through righteous and virtuous living, studying, and implementing what you're learning. If you got another way, be my guest. I know this way. Why? That's the one I would use. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. I only can tell you what I know. I can't tell you another way. So that's my point. And when this becomes what happened, the heart and mind come one, that's the divine marriage, aka enlightenment, nihas, nirvana. But you have to have it for yourself. My enlightenment don't help you one bit. You have to do it for yourself. I did. That's how you get it. Again, if you study, and that's part of getting better, you go to school, education, so you have to study. Just because you're in high school, just because you're in college, don't mean you don't have to study. When you study the truth and you live by said truth, those will become your truth, and you will reach enlightenment by what? Living it. So it becomes yours. We are, again, spiritual beings. That's internal. That's God. God is spirit. Having a human experience. That's the physical body. Spirit and matter is the fall of man. We came from spirit, now we're in the physical form. We're in hell. Get out or keep coming back over and over again, conceptually. So the idea is to what? Know thyself. That's the way out of the matrix. That's the way to the next afterlife, according to our ancient ancestors. And they wasn't wrong about a lot of things. Your heart, your heart, mind knows all. That's God, okay? You just have to make sure this mind connects with this mind. And now you know who you are, aka God, thyself. You are spiritually enlightened. You got God knowledge. No matter how you slice it, it still comes out the same. We are all, we are divine beings. God is divine. The human part makes us devils. I got a lesson for that coming up too. So understand that the devil don't exist. You create him from yourself. Why? In opposition to your own self, which is God. So the devil, that's a moral fight within yourself. We consider the devil Set, the ego, lower self. God is Haru. That's the spirit that's in you from your father. Moving on. Again, we are divine beings in spirit having a human experience. To what? Know that we are divine beings so we can go back home and be with our Father. Moving on. The concept in heaven, same thing. But again, we are God in the flesh, meaning human. And without knowledge of ourselves, we are ignorant spiritual beings. So we are more human than spiritual. Why? Because of ignorance, lack of knowledge. Hello. When knowledge of self, education, right thinking philosophy is learned and mastered, what happened? That means your heart, mind, and your mind have become one mind. Everything is on the one. That's what concept comes from. I don't know if George meant it that way, but I knew that 50 years ago. And now I'm understanding a whole, so he was way ahead of his time. So I give him all the credit for that. So the phrase still stands up. Everything's on the one. Okay. I call what I do, wait a minute, spiritual enlightenment is what? Is having that divine marriage within oneself. You become an enlightened being. You become an akus, a being walking the earth, knowing thyself. So you walk a little taller. You walk a little different. To Christians, they call it you walking with God. You walk by faith, not by sight. Only enlightened beings does that. And that's called the heart-mind coherence. I call it that, heart-mind coherence. That's because when God conscious meets man's conscious, they will become one, and now he knows who he is. Until that happens, you're ignorant of who you are, and you may believe, think, and hope, which means nothing. I tell you, know thyself, not believe in thyself. Not hope, nope. Believe, nope, no. Thinking and feeling as one is being one in thought and in spirit. AKA, know thyself. I know who I am. Spiritually, your heart is God. Again, your mind is your ego self, which is who you are. Again, you don't want to destroy the ego. You just want to control the ego. If not, the ego will control you and make you self-destructive, doing negative things to yourself, causing harm to yourself, hence fetters. Okay, so that's the moral war that every human being goes through. No exceptions. So it's on you again. The onus is on you. And when I was ignorant, again, I wasn't always enlightened. I was ignorant and I followed my conscious mind. What I thought made me feel good, made me happy. No concern for other people. It was all ego driven. I was sworn to fun and loyal to none. That was my mindset. Okay, that's ignorant. After many years of studying. Why? Because I was looking and I was in search of the truth. I got tired of doing me. Okay, so I had my marriage from from practicing everything that I learned over the years, and I end up manifesting, aka mastering myself to know thyself. And I know now how to do that. So I teach it to others. Hence, that's why I teach and why I do what I do is for you, to get you to know you. I started with that philosophy 5 years ago. It's not going to change. Moving on. God, again, I practice. Again, everything I did that. After a few years of righteous living, practicing what I was learning on the low, and not teaching the damn why. I didn't know. But when it happened, when I had that marriage, I got to tell somebody. What was you gonna do? I don't know, but I need to get this message out. Why? I got a whole bunch of information somebody could use. So I'm here every day doing that for you. That's my point. And again, wrapping it up, appreciate you tuning in. That divine marriage, they call it a whole bunch of different names, and that's fine, like they call God. Everybody got a different name for God, but it still signifies the attributes of God. The name you call him don't change his attributes, okay? And understand that. But that divine marriage is what we now call spiritual enlightenment or spiritual understanding, awakening, know thyself, nihas, nirvana. You can call it whatever you want, but the idea is to have it. And if you do it, you can call it whatever you want. I'll call it right thinking. I don't call it what my philosophy or Shita. No, I got my own philosophy. Why? From that, I created my own, just using me as an example. Hence, right thinking. I knew I had made that divine marriage when? About over 10 years now, when God came and spoke to me, and I'm like, okay, this is different than Epiphany. And from that point on, all I wanted to do was enlighten you. So, quick lesson. And now, I teach. That's why I teach you what I know, not what I read. No, what I know, what I experienced. That's what I give you. Okay, that's why I call it right thinking philosophy. It's based on my own life experience, along with my studies and my understanding from what my ignorant self to my enlightened self. So I know both sides of the scale at this point. Again, that's my point. And knowing thyself is just having what? Your own divine marriage, enlightenment, whatever you want to call it. I just used the divine marriage. I thought it was a good idea. For yourself. Why? By how can you make that divine marriage? Live right, do right, be right, and it'll happen for you. It's automatic. The serpent power is only driven by what? Righteous actions within oneself. That's the serpent power that's in you. Just waiting. Just waiting. And the practice of daily right thinking philosophy and meditation, which is part of it, what's happening? You're getting what? Closer to God, aka ready, putting yourself in position to have that divine marriage. Okay? By you doing what you're supposed to do, when it connects with him, you good to go. Moving on, last one, wrapping it up again, appreciate you. As the master of oneself, myself, my mission is to get all right thinkers to have their own divine marriage, aka to know thyself. See, it don't change. You can reword it, you can put in a different analogy, give a different mythology, allegory, whatever, but it still comes back to you need to have it for yourself. The mystical experience, the divine marriage, reaching spiritual enlightenment, whatever name you call it, don't make a difference. But the idea is, again, like Nike, just do it. Hope you got the message. Hope you have your own divine marriage. If not, keep tuning in. My goal is to get you to do just that. All right, and in closing, right thinkers, may y'all live to be 100, me 100 minus a day. So I never knew the right thinkers had passed away. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. You know I'll be back.